Breaking: Prince William just accused the Prime Minister of tyranny, and the British government is trying to silence him. A 12-page constitutional memo, 5 devastating bombshells, and a leak that had Downing Street in absolute chaos right now. This isn't royal drama. This is Prince William fighting for Britain's democracy, and what he's exposed will shock you to your core. Before we reveal the 5 charges that have the government scrambling, hit subscribe, because this story is exploding by the hour and you need to see how this constitutional crisis ends. Here's what happened. Yesterday at 4:30 p.m, a senior BBC editor received a document the government desperately tried to bury. Prince William's constitutional memorandum, 12 pages that 3 separate sources inside Westminster and Kensington Palace confirm are authentic. The reaction inside number 10. Absolute pandemonium, aides running between offices, emergency crisis meetings at the highest level. One source has described it as electric chaos. Prince William was informed of the leak while at a charity engagement. An eyewitness says he remained calm but resolute, telling a senior aide, "The constitutional principles at stake are more important than palace protocols. The British people have a right to know." But here's what should alarm every British citizen. The government's first instinct wasn't to respond to William's charges, it was to silence them. Within 2 hours of receiving Prince William's memo, Keir Starmer's legal team explored using national security laws to gag the media. D-notices, censorship, anything to keep this quiet. Then the Cabinet Office sent a directive to every civil servant. Discussing this memo would be a breach of the Official Secrets Act. This wasn't protocol, this was intimidation. Why the panic? A number 10 insider reportedly told a colleague, "We catastrophically underestimated him. We thought he was ceremonial. He's a constitutional heavyweight. They tried to bury Prince William's memo. Instead it leaked." And now 5 constitutional bombshells are detonating across British politics. On page 3, Prince William drops a legal atomic bomb. He formally accuses Starmer's government of unlawful usurpation of royal prerogative. Translation: the Prime Minister is trying to steal powers that have belonged to the Crown for 600 years, and Prince William says it's illegal. The proposed legislation would strip the monarchy of key constitutional powers, appointing ministers, giving royal assent to laws. Starmer calls these outdated ceremonies. Prince William calls them Britain's constitutional safeguards against government overreach. Here's the exact charge from William's memo. The government cannot simply vote to give itself powers that have belonged to the Crown for 6 centuries. That is not democracy. That is tyranny. Tyranny. The future king just accused the Prime Minister of acting like a dictator, and constitutional experts agree. Professor Alistair Finch of Oxford University, who has advised 2 Prime Ministers, told the BBC, "Prince William has moved this from political debate to legal warfare. The government is attempting to build a house with no foundations." This represents dangerous executive overreach. A King's Counsel briefed on the memo said, "The Prime Minister seems to believe he leads a republic. He does not. He is the King's First Minister." This memo is a formal constitutional reminder of that fact. Starmer's lawyers have been outmanoeuvred, and Prince William has the law on his side. Page 5 exposes an international catastrophe. King Charles isn't just Britain's monarch. He's head of state for 14 other sovereign nations: Canada, Australia, New Zealand, Jamaica, and more. Prince William's memo asks a devastating question. Did the Prime Minister consult the leaders of His Majesty's other realms before proposing legislation that fundamentally alters the crown they all share? The answer: no. Starmer made 0 phone calls. He ignored 14 independent nations and their shared constitutional monarchy. The diplomatic fallout is already here. A cable from the Australian High Commission describes Starmer's move as constitutionally reckless and deeply disrespectful. A senior Canadian diplomat said, "We share a head of state. You cannot change the rules without consultation. This is not how allies behave." But Prince William exposed something darker. A radical Labour faction that secretly met and called the royals parasites allegedly sent this WhatsApp message 3 hours after the leak. If the Commonwealth realms are upset, good. It's time they became republics. This isn't modernisation, it's deliberate destruction of the Commonwealth. And Prince William just revealed the plot to the world. Page 7 reveals the most authoritarian element. Buried in Starmer's legislation is a clause giving the Prime Minister power to reassign or discipline senior civil servants who obstruct the legislative agenda. Prince William calls it what it is, a purge clause. British civil servants serve the Crown, not the Prime Minister. Their oath is to political neutrality and constitutional duty. But Starmer's bill would punish anyone who questions this radical agenda. Prince William's memo reportedly states this clause is an affront to democratic principles and a hallmark of an illiberal state. Prince William is warning that Britain is sliding toward authoritarianism and he's giving civil servants constitutional cover to resist. Page 9 strikes where Starmer is weakest. His democratic legitimacy. Prince William's team forensically analysed Labour's election manifesto. Their finding, nowhere did Starmer ask voters for permission to radically reorganise Britain's constitution. The memo states, the governing party never asked the British people for a mandate to conduct such destabilising constitutional reorganisation. Starmer ran on stability. He won with only 34% of the vote. Now he's pushing an ideological agenda voters never agreed to, and the public backs Prince William. A YouGov poll from the last 12 hours shows Starmer's approval rating dropped 15 points. When asked if the Prime Minister has a mandate for radical constitutional changes, 78% of British adults said no. The petition opposing these changes stood at 460,000 2 days ago. Tonight, it passed 1.2 million signatures, one of the fastest growing petitions in UK history. Prince William has turned public opinion into a political weapon, and Starmer is losing. The final charge, page 11, is the gravest of all. Prince William argues the Crown is the single thread binding England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland together. By attacking the monarchy, Starmer is handing ammunition to separatist movements. The memo warns, if Westminster weakens and politicises the Crown, the argument for Scotland and Wales remaining in the Union collapses. Prince William is accusing Keir Starmer of putting party ideology above the survival of the United Kingdom itself. A senior Conservative MP who read the memo said, it's the most brilliant constitutional document I've ever seen. Prince William has trapped Starmer. He must choose his radical backbenchers or the United Kingdom. He cannot have both. This is where Britain stands tonight. Prince William has formally accused the Prime Minister of acting tyrannically and illegally, betraying Britain's closest Commonwealth allies, attempting to purge civil servants for constitutional loyalty, lying to voters about his mandate, threatening the unity of the United Kingdom. Starmer's response, he called Prince William's intervention inappropriate involvement in political matters. But 1.2 million petition signers disagree. Constitutional lawyers disagree. The Commonwealth disagrees and 78% of British voters disagree. This isn't inappropriate. Prince William is fulfilling his constitutional duty as future king. What happens next will define Britain for generations. Does Parliament push forward with legislation Prince William has declared unconstitutional? Does Starmer back down and fracture his party? Or does this escalate into a full-blown constitutional crisis between Crown and government? One thing is certain, Prince William is no longer the ceremonial figure Downing Street thought they could ignore. He's a constitutional heavyweight and he's fighting for the soul of Britain. This story is moving faster than anyone anticipated, and every minute seems to bring a new twist. What began as quiet speculation inside Westminster has exploded into a full-blown national storm. The government's official response is now imminent, and sources suggest that ministers are deeply divided over how to address the situation. Labour MPs are fracturing, some calling for restraint, others demanding accountability, revealing deep internal cracks that could reshape the party's direction for years to come. At the centre of it all stands Prince William, whose decision to step forward has stunned both allies and critics. His intervention has sparked a fierce national debate. Was it an act of duty and leadership or a breach of royal neutrality that could alter the monarchy's role forever? The question now gripping Britain is simple. Has the future king done what needed to be done, or has he gone too far? Behind closed doors, pressure is mounting. Advisors are drafting statements, analysts are warning of a constitutional crossroads, and the media is in overdrive dissecting every word and gesture. Across the country, people are choosing sides, debating whether this moment marks the beginning of renewal or the start of a crisis. Subscribe right now so you don't miss the next update, because what happens in the next 48 hours could echo through British politics for decades. Comment below. Do you believe Prince William is right to intervene, or should he have stayed silent? Share this with everyone who cares about Britain's future. History isn't just being written, it's unfolding before your eyes, and today the line between tradition and transformation has been drawn by Prince William himself.